Recently, the remastered Plants vs. Zombies was announced for the Nintendo Switch with updated graphics and even a co-op mode. Watching that trailer instantly brought back so many memories of the original game, of other PopCap classics I used to love, and of countless indie games that shaped my childhood. Today, I want to share some of those games that gave me joy back then, but sadly, no longer exists. The first PopCap game I ever played was Zuma. My grandma, my dad, and I would take turns battling for the high scores every summer. Yeah, my grandma was actually the best at it. Those were the unforgettable time, and I can still remember the hum of the old PC and the taste of ice cream in the air. Then there was Bejeweled. I didn't play it much at first, but I always saw people in my dad's office playing it when I was a child. Later, during college, Bejeweled Blitz exploded on Facebook. My dorm mates were hooked, competing for the highest scores. Looking back, Bejeweled was really the ancestors of all Match 3 games. Without it, there probably would be no Candy Crush. Another gem for me was Insaniquarium. It was a crazy mix of resource management and aquarium fun. At first, you only have a few small fish that you must keep feeding to prevent them from starving. As they grow, they drop silver coins, gold coins, stars, diamonds, and you can use this money to buy more fish or to unlock special species. Some produces pearls, while others coexist with different fish. For example, this fish will eat small fish but can produce diamonds. This beetle-looking fish consumes fish and generate golden beetles, which another type of fish feeds on to produce pearls. By the late game, the whole screen would be filled with fish coins flying everywhere. It was a pure chaos, but so much fun. And of course, the superstar Plants vs. Zombies. A classmate recommended it to me first, and in the beginning I was like, zombies? No thanks. But once I tried, I was hooked. It was cute, clever, endless, replayable. It was perfect. Sadly, when PVZ2 arrived, it turned into a free-to-play grind. Pay-to-win mechanics killed the fun for me. I don't mind paying once for a great game, but endless microtransactions? No thanks. Another company that shaped my childhood was Bullfrog. Their Sim Hospital was my very first simulation game. The dark humor, the crazy treatments like popping a patient's oversized head with a pump are still iconic. Lines like
patients are reminded not to die in the corridors,
or
hospital administrator is cheating,
are still fondly quoted by players. Many years later, the original team formed 2 Point Studios and released the spiritual successor 2 Point Hospital. I finally got to relive that nostalgic feeling. The game kept the same management style, the same wacky concepts, and the same dark humor. But somehow, it didn't deliver the same sense of wonder as the original. Perhaps this is the common problem with most nostalgia remakes. Later on, they released 2 Point Campus, but was basically the same game with a new skin. The repetition felt kinda overwhelming, making me wonder if the studio had run out of ideas. It wasn't until the release of 2 Point Museum that my excitement was finally rekindled. I'll make a separate video talking about this game. Another classic title from Bullfrog was Theme Park. Many of the elements that are now common in theme park simulation games, like facility development, shop management, visitor control, park planning, could already be found in theme park. What amazed me the most was the roller coaster design. Players could freely build their own coasters, recustomize the thrill level, and then even share their creations with their friends. At that time, it was quite revolutionary.
to build an instant loop-the-loop.
Later, EA released a mobile version of Theme Park, and I downloaded right away. But it was a huge disappointment. It wasn't really a management game at all. It's just a boring idle game. Spin the facility a few times, wait for a while, and that's it. It didn't even make me want to spend money on it. It was simply beyond criticism. Fortunately, the spirit of theme park has lived on in games like Roller Coaster Tycoon and Planet Coaster. Still, even though the graphics and gameplay have improved, but pure and simple joy from old days seems impossible to recapture. Then there's Maxis. SimCity once gave players the thrill of playing as God. Planning and watching an entire city grow is the ultimate fun. But under EA, the series lost its soul. Thankfully, the spirit lives on in City Skylines. My husband, who rarely plays games, can sit for hours building cities. It's that addictive. The only other game can do that is Age of Empires 2. And of course, The Sims. To be fair, The Sims 4 is still thriving with new DLCs and expansions. It might be the rare survivor under EA's management. Sometimes when we miss a game, we're also missing a part of our life. Some of these classics have spiritual successors, others have vanished forever. I only hope that indie developers can keep being seen and supported instead of being drained by big publishers. Thanks to platforms like Steam, events like the Game Awards, and the power of content creators, indie games today have more chances than ever. I love indie games. They brought me joy in the past, and they keep showing me that creativity in gaming never dies. If AAA games are about making the cake bigger, indie games are about making the cake tastier. And honestly, I want both, a bigger cake and a better one.